do John Cena, vampires, and Kelly's boobies all have in common? Well, my friends, they were all part of the first ever episode of WWE's ECW on Sci-Fi. Join me today as we take a look back at this historic first episode on June 13th, 2006 and see if it was any good or a steaming pile of shit. So without any further ado, let's get this show on the road, or as Drowning Paul said, let the bodies hit the floor. We open up the show with Paul Heyman introducing the newly crowned WWE champion Rob Van Dam. RVD beat John Cena for the title at ECW's One Night Stand thanks to an assist from the rated R superstar Edge. Paul Heyman presents Van Dam with a shiny new ECW World Championship. RVD tells Heyman that he can't think of a greater honour than this title for his career, but he wants to keep the other one too. Hey, look, it spins. Edge and Lita make their way to the ring. Paul Heyman welcomes Edge to the show and announces him as the #1 contender for the WWE title at Vengeance. Handshakes are exchanged, and just when you think that's the end of that, Edge hits RVD with a spear out of nowhere. Edge and Lita start to make their escape through the crowd. Looks like that pesky Edge has gotten away with a hit and run again. But then, John Cena appears behind him. I couldn't see him to begin with. Cena starts laying the smackdown on Edge. RVD wants a piece of him too, and they both take turns kicking his ass for a bit. RVD and Cena start arguing about who should get to beat Edge up when he knocks them both into each other and delivers a low blow to RVD's bollocks. Edge tries to escape through the crowd. Paul Heyman gets in Cena's way and gets a smack in the gob from the Doctor of Thugonomics. John then proceeds to chase Edge out of the arena. Some of the ECW boys come running to Heyman's aid. Back after the break, Paul Heyman is backstage with the world champ RVD and some of the ECW contingent. Stevie Richards, Balls Mahoney, Tommy Dreamer, Nunzio, and Al Snow. Didn't even realise he was still around in WWE in 2006. Heyman says if Raw wants to invade ECW, then on Monday night, they're going over to the Red Brand to crash their party. The boys start an ECW chant. And we're off to the races, boys. It's the first match of the night. I wonder who it's going to be. I'm sure WWE will pull out all the stops in the first ever ECW match. It's the Zombie. Of course.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Are they taking the piss? I mean, whoever thought of this needs shooting. This guy's supposed to be dead, but I'll tell you what is actually dead. The audience. Honestly, I have never seen a crowd become so uninterested so quickly. The Zombie grabs the microphone and proceeds to grunt into it. No, I'm not making this up. It happened. Sometimes we have such a fondness for the past and nostalgia that we often romanticise it. I've definitely done that with this period of WWE before.
Those were the days, man. WWE was so good back then.
The Zombie's still grunting on the mic when finally Sandman's music hits. Thank fuck for that, we're saved. The Zombie is just a guy that's going to get his ass kicked. I'd like to think he wasn't a returning character on the show. Sandman hits the Zombie with the most vicious kendo stick shot to the head I've ever seen. He hit him so hard the Zombie's makeup just fell off all over the canvas. Sandman then hits him with a kendo stick Russian leg sweep, and it's over. 1, 2, 3. Joey Styles informs us the first ever official match of ECW is over. Well, thank fuck for that, Joey. Sandman hits the Zombie with a few more kendo shots on his way backstage. I mean, literally, what were they thinking? This is just pure shite. Even if I get to see Sandman fuck someone up, which I didn't even get to see, he just hit him a couple of times and pinned him. Pick any generic jobber or enhancement talent, not dress a guy up like the fucking living dead. Pure arse. -5 stars. In our next segment, we're introduced to the quite nice looking Kelly.
Hi.
What was with that long pause, man? I thought she was buffering. She tells us her name is Kelly, and she's an exhibitionist. Jesus Christ, I wonder who wrote this. Kelly continues by explaining to us what an exhibitionist actually is.
Which means I'm gonna take off all of my clothes for you tonight.
Kelly is rubbing her breast now like it's some sort of softcore porno, and it's just awkward as fuck. Honestly, you'd think because Kelly's hot this sort of segment would work, but it doesn't. She looks uncomfortable, I feel uncomfortable, I've also got a boner at the same time. It's fucked up, man. And it's probably going to just get more awkward when she takes her clobber off later. The wrestling machine, baby! Finally, something fucking good. Kurt is taking on the former ECW World Heavyweight and Tag Team Champion, Justin Credible. Angle beats the absolute piss out of Credible for the whole match. The whole match being less than 5 minutes. Kurt hits Justin Credible with a thunderous headbutt and then proceeds to lock in a rear naked choke to make him tap out. Angle looks like an absolute beast in this match. This is definitely the early stages of Perk Angle. He made me believe wholeheartedly that he wanted to kill Justin Credible in that ring, and he was hitting him with some pretty stiff shots as well. Angle then cuts a promo talking about his upcoming bout with Randy Orton at Vengeance. It doesn't matter whether it's ECW or WWE rules, he's gonna make him tap out. We then cut backstage to Heyman saying, "You wanna feel extreme? I'm gonna show you extreme."
It's sexual, baby.
He announces an Extreme 10-man Battle Royal with the winner facing John Cena at Vengeance. Oh, and one more thing. Every weapon is legal. Hold on. Every weapon? What are they going to bring out to this one? A sword? A machine gun? Come on, Paul. Oh, fuck. Here we go again. Kelly's back. Let's hope this one's less awkward than the last. She got a bit of a roar from the crowd, to be fair to her. I assume they're hoping this is the moment when she's going to get her boobs and bum out on live television. And this is exactly what she tells us is coming up next. She's going to show us her assets. Emphasis on ass. Next, there's just your standard WWE camera shot of the venue's bill, but oh no, there's a vampire standing there. I like how confused Taz is. Like,
What is that?
it's a vampire, Taz, you donut. It's the moment all you dirty bastards have been waiting for. The ring announcer introduces Kelly to the stripper's podium without a pole. I guess that would be the best way to describe it. Also, minor note, she's only been referred to as Kelly in this episode, so I guess they added the second Kelly later. I thought she was always Kelly Kelly. Anyway, on with the stripping. Kelly, not Kelly Kelly, starts getting her gear off, and once again, it just feels a bit awkward. But at the same time, I'm kinda not complaining. She goes to undo her bra when Taz makes a noise which sounds like he's about to bust a nut under the announce table. After what feels like an eternity of Kelly trying to unsuccessfully undo her bra, she decides to just lift the bra up over her tits instead. She teases the fans in attendance with her hands covering them puppies. That's the king's words, not mine. And then she walks off stage and it's over like that. I was trying to figure out what made things so awkward about this whole segment, aside from Kelly not Kelly Kelly's unconvincing performance of her being an exhibitionist. I know we had some raunchy stuff back then, but it feels like they were trying to go more extreme for ECW by having Kelly just be a stripper essentially. I think if the audience was predominantly like the crowd at One Night Stand, it might be a bit less awkward. But if you actually look at the audience, they look like a fairly regular WWE crowd, with even a few kids and families in attendance. I bet that must be awkward, watching Kelly Kelly strip off with your mum and dad next to you. Main event time, and it's the 10-man Battle Royal Any Weapon Counts match, including bazookas. Hardcore legend Tommy Dreamer makes his way down to the ring with Alice in Chains' Man in the Box playing. Great tune. He's shortly followed by another hardcore legend, Sabu, and his song slaps too. Two great themes there for Sabu and Dreamer. This period of WWE definitely got the music right, that's for sure. Other participants include Al Snow, Stevie Richards, the entire cast of FBI, and hold up. Who is that sexy mamacita? Forget the match, boys, let's get her up on the stripper stage thing. She already looks less awkward than Kelly not Kelly Kelly. Why didn't they pick her to do it? She had the crowd in the palm of her hands out there and was absolutely owning it. Anyway, the last two participants, Balls Mahoney and for fuck's sake, it's the Big Show. Don't tell me he's gonna win it. It's a bang average battle royal. For a match that says any weapon's illegal, they only used a baking tray, trash can, street sign, chairs, and they did a table spot with Dreamer getting pressed through it by the Big Show. Seems like a pretty average weapons match if you ask me. What happened? Did everyone forget their katanas and AK-47s? Obviously I'm taking the piss, but what was the point in making a fuss about any weapons allowed, and then they use all the weapons they normally use? They could have brought at least a couple of interesting ones you don't normally see. Sabu wins the match by eliminating Paul White over the top rope. Hooray, the Big Show didn't win. It was a pretty crap first opening show for WWE's ECW. I mean, you want to make an impact on your first night, and that certainly didn't do it. I don't think there was a single match that lasted longer than 10 minutes. I know they only had an hour to fill, but wasting it with Kelly stripping, Sandman beating up the Walking Dead, and an average Battle Royal as your main event isn't it, Chief? If it was on now, I probably wouldn't even bother tuning in for the second episode. With just one show in and it feels like it's only a level above Heat and Velocity. However, with that said, it wasn't the biggest load of shit I've ever seen, and at least I was entertained for nostalgic purposes, if not anything else. Well, maybe that as well. It's got to be 1.5 stars for me. Before we finish, just a couple of footnotes on some of the wrestlers that appeared in this episode. The vampire that was next to the billboard is Kevin Thorne. I actually do remember him being a wrestler in the WWE. He often came out to the ring with his big titty goth girlfriend Ariel. I had an action figure of him back in the day, and I still probably have it upstairs in the loft somewhere, or attic for you Americans. That's got to be worth some money. There can't be too many bloody Kevin Thorne action figures out there. Then again, who's going to want to buy a Kevin Thorne action figure? Thankfully, this was the first and only appearance for the zombie on WWE television. And the last thing I want to talk about is the woman accompanying FBI to the ring is TNA legend Trinity. She was actually a brilliant wrestler, and as you can see, she was hot as fuck too. Perfect combination you'd think for WWE during this time. And what do? They released her almost exactly a year later. Massive L. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Also, if you've got any suggestions of stuff you want me to review, please leave it in the comment section below. I'll watch any torturous wrestling shit to entertain my subscribers. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.